This week's episode of Talking to Mod is sponsored by the Coffee Mod. Don't just dress like an ace face, drink like one too. They're also giving our listeners 15% off when you use the promo code MAGICMOD15. So what are you waiting for? How are we doing, everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of Talking to Mod. Now today we have the fantastic artist Laurie Wright. You may have seen him performing on the streets of Camden, and I tell you what, if you haven't, you must have seen his Oasis covers because they went viral across every social media platform. He's got a voice a bit like Steve Marriott, and I can't wait to get speaking to him. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax and enjoy episode 26 of Talking to Mod.
How's it going? You alright?
I'm all good, brother. You?
Good to see you, yeah. Fucking hell, what's going on with the light?
No, listen, don't worry about that. The barnet is looking fresh.
It's alright, innit, mate? And yours, how are you?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. What have you been up to, man?
Just writing, getting ready to do the second album. Getting out of this fucking night. I'm going over it. Just getting ready to do the second album, doing rehearsals, booking that in. And yeah, just doing that really. How about yourself? What have you been up to?
Same, mate. Obviously not songwriting and doing rehearsals, but plenty of practicing and doing shows up and down like UK, Belfast, Ireland. You know, it's been good, mate. It was a good way to end the year, to be honest. And then a couple of weeks off to prepare for, you know, the oncoming storm of gigs and all that. But it's always good to have a few weeks off and just mentally prepare yourself.
That's it, man. Yeah. And congrats on the Magic Circle thing as well, mate. That's fucking amazing.
Top man, appreciate that. Yeah. It's a bit mental, that, isn't it? I thought I'd go for it. You know, it's one of them things like, if I get in, I'll tell everyone about it. If I didn't, no one would fucking know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by luck, well, I'm not going to say by luck, because that's putting yourself down, but, you know, just happy enough to be in it, man. It's brilliant.
Through hard graft, you make your own luck.
Of course you do, mate. No one's going to give it to you, are they? You just got to tread light and see where it takes you. But you had a bit of a lively one on New Year's Eve, didn't you?
Yeah. It was wicked. With Talent Bank, the promotion company, that was our first thing with them at the Fiddler's Elbow Camden with the Molotovs, and it was near enough sold out. We only got it on sale in the middle of December, so it's pretty hard work getting the tickets sold out. But we had over 100 in there, and it's only 150 caps. So it was really decent, but with the pressure being off of it being such a last minute thing, something just happened where it just went different. You know, where like we did the Underworld in October, sold it out, but I built up to it for like a year, like 10 months on sale. And by the time I got on stage, like I had a great time, but there was so much pressure in my head. There were a couple of moments where I thought, fucking hell, I'm not really in this 100%. But New Year's Eve, mate, just fucking... it was one of the best times I've ever had on stage, mate. And we did so me and my band did a set, then the Molotovs, and then we all got on the stage at the end for an hour and doing covers. So we did like Small Faces, Shalalali, Oasis, Some Might Say, into Teenage Kicks, into fucking Twist and Shout, just after midnight. Do you know what I mean? Just like, fucking come on. And it was, it was mint, absolutely mint.
Brilliant, mate. I've seen a lot of footage, clips. You know, social media is a wonderful thing, and if you're not there, you're lucky enough to relive that moment. And I've seen a few, and it looks heavy, mate. It definitely looks heavy.
Yeah, I've got a couple of decent reels to share from it. I'm just biding my time with it because we had this to promote, and obviously the thing down the Marquis starting Sunday, so I wanted to keep it free for that. But there's some mental ones of like Some Might Say, and fucking God knows. But yeah, it was good fun, mate.
Is that boozer down Covent Garden? You've got a little residency going on there now, isn't you?
Yeah. So the first one is like I hadn't actually been in there. I just heard really good things. Like Dino from the Rifles drinks in there.
Wait, listen. Dino from the Rifles drinks anywhere, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's just a well decent mod pub in Covent Garden, and fucking I just heard good things and went down there just for a drink. And Tommy's the landlord, and he was like, "Oh, how do you feel about Sundays coming in doing some music?" And I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And he was like, "Do you want to do this Sunday?" So I was like, "Yeah, sound." So that starts this Sunday, and it's gonna be mint, mate. Like 4 till 7, smashing out all the bangers, all the covers, all the originals, and just having a bit of a knees up, really. But
Yeah,
I really like it in there, man.
it's a cool vibe. Landlord always was. I mean, they followed me on my socials for a while, and he's always like, "Come down, check it out." And Dino was always like, "Come down, check it out." But I never really. It's one of those things when you're in London. There's so many places to go, you just completely forget. But
Yeah,
no, it looks mega. Like they've always got a vinyl on and all that. It just looks like a proper boozer. And it would have
yeah.
been somewhere where I probably wouldn't have left for about 7 days straight, mate. I tell you. But
That's it. Yeah.
but that's pretty good.
Whereabouts are you then? Where do you live?
I'm in Belfast now, mate.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
You live in Belfast? Or are
Yes.
you on tour?
No.
Right.
This is this is my tour bus. This is
Nice.
the mod HQ, as they say. So
Yeah.
moved down
Smart
there.
blinds on the tour bus, like.
I know, mate. Right, going up in the world.
Yeah.
We've got I moved over here, and I've got my little boy, Lonnie,
wicked.
so family and that, and but do you know what? Most of my gigs are still back over in London and that, mate. You know, although I have been very lucky over here, I've done a lot of good shows. Fell in with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Played fucking the SSE Arena in December, which is the biggest venue in Northern Ireland. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Oh, I don't know how many, 11, 12,000 or something like that, but
wow.
they brung the stage halfway, so it was like 5, 6. I don't know the full, you know what I mean? I didn't stand there and start counting people, but some of the photos were mega, mate, absolutely incredible.
Mate.
But that's it's a bit like with your act though. You know, I mean, the way I discovered you is, I don't think you actually know this. I mean, you might do. I might have told you this, but I actually saw you busking years ago, mate, on the streets of Camden.
Oh, really?
And I watched you for a bit, and then you know when you go away and you think, fuck, what was that fella's name? I can't remember. It was one of them, mate, right?
Yeah.
Also, I was probably on an all-day bender at the time,
probably
because
me
it was
too,
5 odd years
if it
ago.
was Camden years ago.
Mate, that was the place to go, though, wasn't it? Tell me about it. But I remember, and then I saw the cover you did for the Oasis cover, and I was like, this is that fella. And then started following you again and all that. So again, the powers of social media bring people together, mate. But would you say working on the streets of Camden, that was like that's where you felt most at home?
Yeah, for sure. Like I just started going up there. I had some mates who were squatting there like 10 years ago, and it was a bit like, no, it was 10, 11 years ago, and it was a bit more like before they turned it all nice, like do you know what I mean? Like it was a bit crazier and stuff like that. So we used to go there and just fucking, they had a couple of squats. There was one by the World's End.
Oh yeah.
On the other side of the road, like on that side, and we used to just cause fucking chaos on the roof there and stuff. They're always going busking, just acoustically back then, and it sort of became like my home, for better or for worse. Definitely for worse. Like good vibes and everything, but I just got swallowed up by it all. You know, lots of fucking crack and just do all that bollocks, and just all day, every day drinking and that kind of stuff. But you know, good times as well. It wasn't all shit.
No. It's, you know, I think everyone's got to tell a story and live a life. And I did. There was a good. You remember Dapper Laughs? You remember him?
Who?
Dapper Laughs, the comedian.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell.
So I did a podcast with him about sobriety, right? And he come up and said something like, I think we're all allocated to a certain amount of drink or drugs throughout our life, and it all depends on how much you use it all. And he said, people like me and you are probably fucking blown it out straight away. And I was like, I never really looked at it like that. But especially in the industry we're in, right? It's everywhere, isn't it? And it is rife. And as you said, it can swallow you up, mate.
Yeah.
But I mean, how old are you now?
32.
so I'm 33, and let's mention, if you don't mind, you've been sober for
4 years. 4 years,
that's
1 month now.
that's brilliant, man. That is absolutely brilliant.
Cheers, mate. How about
And I've
yourself?
18 months.
Oh,
18
amazing, mate.
months.
Fucking
Yeah.
banging.
But
That's well good.
would you
Feels good,
say,
doesn't
oh, it's better than sex, man?
it?
But like,
Yeah, and sober sex, funnily enough, is better than fucking pissed sex.
but it's like, would you say, I mean, you probably noticed a massive difference in your performing ability in terms of your songwriting and just your all-round live performances?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I always thought I was the bollocks before, and I think I was all right. But what I used to think is I was way more mental than I was on stage. Looking back at footage now, I'm quite rigid because the cocaine just fucking the shit cocaine fucking like pins you to the fucking spot, going like, "Ah." And I wasn't as mental as what I thought I was. All the madness was just going on in my head. As soon as I like cleaned up a bit and fucking, you know, stopped all that bollocks, I was way more mobile, way more agile, voice way better, obviously. Way better on stage, songwriting way more of it. I think I wrote some good stuff, not actually pissed and on drugs, but during that time. But writing more good songs, and since being sober, definitely. And just seeing the fucking mornings without it being the night before. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, how deadly was it when you're still up and you can hear the birds outside and it's just starting to get light and you think,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I doing here? Do you know what I mean?
I remember when I was living in Brighton, like pranging out, thinking the seagulls were like chatting and all that bollocks, like thinking they're fucking having a go at me and stuff. And I was like, they're definitely not. They're just seagulls. But you're like, the fact you're even having that fucking conversation in your fucking head, and then you don't think, oh, I better pack this in for years and years and years. Anyway.
No. I mean, you know, I listen, it does some weird stuff to you. I thought it'd be a good idea because they did it in Quadrophenia to sleep under the fucking pier in Brighton with my Parker, right? So me and my mate would bang on it and we were like, fuck it, we might as well just lay down here. He had his Parker, I had mine, and we got under there and it was fucking Baltic, mate, absolutely freezing, right? And we're both there like, what the fuck are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Let's just get the train home. Like, it's just weird things you do when you're off it. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know if there's many footage of you when you're off it and you look back and you go, Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a gig I did, and I thought the gig went well, and this only come to light probably a couple of years after that I did the gig, and I watched someone filmed it, and it come up as a memory on Facebook, but only, as I said, about 2 years after, and I watched it back, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like people were loving it, and the tricks were going right, but I just looked like I looked like I was Stevie Wonder singing "Isn't She Lovely?" Like my head was going all over the place wearing this pair of sunglasses. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's when you've got to, you know, evaluate your life and go, do you know what I mean? It's either the partying or the career, man. But I've noticed a lot. You've been doing some great things, mate, and the music you've been bringing out is being class. And I mean, that's got to be that's got to be great for yourself as well, though, isn't it, mate? When you're bringing out something.
Definitely, mate. Like, especially given that. Well, now, like with sort of tongue in cheek, looking back at it, I can say like, well, that 12 years, we'll call it research for the first album, and the first album, it does have a bit of a theme of like an unofficial theme of drugs and coming off drugs and alcohol and all that. But yeah, I don't think I could have done it without the music, or at least something to obsess about, to really try and perfect the art of. Like, you've got your magic, and I do feel for some people that I know or people I've known who haven't got that thing, and they find it hard to, because as addicts we will transfer our addictions onto other things, like it could be exercise, fucking food, work, whatever. But if you can transfer it onto a craft to master, especially if it's already your favorite thing to do other than drugs, like, then, you know, it's win-win. And I think me and you have got, like, we're blessed to have that positive thing to look towards to get us through. and I fucking love it.
No, good. And long may that continue,
Yeah,
brother. I remember
man.
seeing a what was the magazine where it had Susie and the Banshees on the front, and they did a write-up about you.
The Viva La Rock magazine.
That's it. That's it. And I remember when you were reading through it, you said it's nice for people just to talk about the music, other than the and I do you know what I mean? It's a little thing like that, but I actually felt that, and I thought, fucking hell, because you know I know exactly what that means. Some people will be like, what the fuck's he on about? But it's similar to, like, for instance, Pete Doherty, right? I've been very lucky to have been on a Libs tour with him, and then to have done the solo tour with him. I've spent fucking loads of time with him in between.
Was he
that.
like a geezer?
And absolute gentleman, mate. And in my opinion, one of the most talented songwriters in the world. Like not just in the UK, in the world, mate. But that gets overshadowed by his background in drugs abuse and that, right?
Yeah.
But there was times like when I just watched him on the tour bus, and he picked up this acoustic guitar and he started singing fucking "Fuck Forever" by the Baby Shambles out of nowhere, right? And I'm looking at him thinking, this is like, the geezer is so talented, it's unreal, right? And luckily, we're so lucky to be in a world where we can watch him live. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like, I've always wanted to see the Jam live, never saw it, saw Paul Weller, that's the closest thing. But one day people are going to look back and go, Pete Doherty, one of the best songwriters ever, like, and amazing how he is. And do you know,
one of the last true rock stars, or maybe the last, really.
I mean, he seemed to have sort of cleaned his act up a little bit. Did you watch the documentary with
Louis Theroux? Yeah. Really interesting. It was quite heartbreaking as well, like, but well interesting. Like I loved watching it. Like he was the reason. Him and Carl were the reason I picked up a guitar. You know, 14 years old. My brother got me both their albums, the Libertines albums. And straight away, I wasn't playing guitar, and I just listened to him, and I was like, "Mum, could I have a guitar?" She's like, "What do you have a guitar for?" I was like, "Just want to." Do you know what I mean? I just want to do this, and then just went from there. Really, mate. Like, learned all their tunes, and then started writing my own, and then like Arctic Monkeys come out, and you know, then there was that as well. Love them, but like, it all stemmed from them, and I think so many of our generation, it was the Libertines. It was, and a lot of those bands, even Arctic Monkeys, probably cite them as a influence. Like, you know,
incredible, absolutely,
just otherworldly.
Didn't you meet Carl recently? Was he at the gig in New Year's Eve?
It wasn't New Year's Eve. It was our Christmas do. Dan was at his bar in Margate, Justine's.
Yes, and, right, that makes sense.
For the Songbird Showcase with Sally Newman. Sally, if you're watching, legend. Or Carl, if you're watching, legend. Unlikely, but hello, Carl, if you are.
There's bound to be a Carl watching.
Yeah. But we went down there, Justine's, Margate. It was us and the Molotovs, double headliner, and it was just blinding, mate. And luckily, there'd been whispers that he was about, and I knew he was coming, so he said. But it was a good job I didn't see him till the second to last tune of our set, because it wasn't that thing of, fucking hell, Carl's going to be watching this, I better not fuck up. I only saw him when I'd already done well. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, there it is, fucking hell. You know, cheers, Carl, and all the rest of it. And it was a really cracking gig, and he's a true gent. He got on the stage and like had a chat to us and was asking questions about our tunes as well, which was really nice. But yeah, man, legend.
Yeah, Carl's an absolute gentleman, mate. Short story. When I was in Nambucca, now where's that? Is that Holloway Road?
Yeah. Is it still? Have they closed down, or is it still?
I wouldn't know, but there was a picture on the wall of Carl Barrett, Liam Gallagher, and I was the third person, the Magic Mod, right?
Way.
And that's straight up. That story was, I can't think what it was. I think it was something to do with this feeling. I might be wrong, but I think it was. And Carl, I was standing with Carl. We were watching this band. The DMAs were playing. I had the DMAs on. It was like this live thing. And I looked over, and this geezer looked like Liam Gallagher. And I said to Carl, "Get on this, right? That geezer then he looked at the spitting image of Liam Gallagher, and he went, yeah, that's because it is. Off like that, like what? And then he introduced me to him, and just mental, mate, absolutely mental. And he said to me, "Am I in a band?" I said, "Listen, mate, I make a better sound with a guitar if I throw it down the fucking stairs." Do you know what I mean? It's something I've always wanted to do. You know, similar to yourself, I had heroes in music. Mine was Paul Weller, but I couldn't get the hang of it, mate. I leave it to the professionals. And I mean, how much practice did you put in to be to the standard you are? Not even that, Laurie, but to where you've got the confidence to then go on the streets.
It was like
and perform.
It was like 8 hours. I'd get home from school and I'd go straight to my room. Before that, I was playing like fucking San Andreas on PS2 and all that bollocks. But as soon as I get, but yeah, it's mint. Love a bit of San Andreas. But when I got a guitar, it was like, fuck the PS2. And I'm so glad, right, I did that. Because then it was just, as soon as I got home from school, straight up to my room, bang, close the door, CDs on, fucking guitar. Let's work out what this is. And I had one of the first ever apps on a phone. It was I don't know if you remember the Sony Walkman flip phones.
Yeah,
remember them ones?
Orange.
Yeah.
The one that did that.
Yeah.
Was it like that?
No, it didn't do that. It just fucking. Oh, yeah.
There was one, and you flip it up like that as well. It's a fucking weird
and it
thing,
had
man.
this thing on it called Music Mate, and I had a look on it, and it taught you where to put your fingers on the guitar for each chord, and I was like, fucking class. So I fucking learned how to do chords like that, and then just kind of listening when it's like Libertines or Oasis or whatever. It's not exactly jazz, so you can fucking work out what's going on, and then just like 8 hours a day, mate, doing that. Early Kings of Leon, first 3 albums, Arctic Monkeys, just every single day in my room going bang, bang, bang. As soon as I learned how to do the guitar, I knew I could sing a bit. So I was like, right, now I've got to learn how to sing and play guitar together. That wasn't long, figured that out. And then I was like, right, let's just go out on the street and start busking. So
Brilliant.
Went out, and then in my school uniform. So I used to take my guitar to school and then just leave school, go straight into town and just start hammering away, which was wicked because up until then, I'd had zero attention from girls. and then fucking all of a sudden, because at that point, obviously, Libertines were massive, Arctic Monkeys were massive, guitar was still king, you know, like Kooks were up there and what have you. So it was like, that's what the big thing was. So girls were still going mad about guys with guitars. So like straight away it was like, right, okay, now this is a thing. And then just formed my own band and started doing gigs. But yeah, from the busking in my school uniform, I'd only been playing guitar for a year, and I got a slot at Glastonbury, only on a small stage, but
don't matter, mate, you played it.
It was mint, and I was writing my own tunes by then.
Fuck.
They were all right. I mean, they're fucking embarrassing now, but like,
you got to start somewhere, mate, ain't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No one just ended up playing fucking #1 straight out, unless you're fucking Paul Weller, of course. But you know what I mean? It's
Paul Weller or Arctic Monkeys.
100%, mate. Now that clip, is it "I Hope I Think I Know" by Oasis?
Yeah.
Right. I'm not just saying this. When I actually think I retweeted it. Or no, not retweeted it. I managed to share it on Twitter, and I actually likened your voice to a young Steve Marriott, mate.
Yes.
Because if you, I'm not just saying it, like, Laurie, I'm not one of these people who says it to people to blow smoke up their ass, but I mean credit when credit's due. When I first listened to that, I'm not even joking, I thought, fuck me. Like,
cheers,
even when I first saw you and then forgot who you were, do you know what I mean? It was, the voice of you is definitely like a young Steve Marriott, and I get not even a young Steve Marriott. And I bet have you had that quite a lot, though?
Yeah. And it's my favourite compliment because he is, I'm nowhere near his caliber, but he was, in my opinion, the greatest rock and roll vocalist of all time. And frontman and general personality, I just don't think they come close. Like, well, they do come close. There's, you know, Liam Gallagher, fucking Paul Weller, obviously, Pete Doherty, whoever else you can think of who's up there. I mean, Freddie Mercury's up there. But like, and John Lennon, obviously. But, you know, I think Steve Marriott is the greatest rock and roll vocalist ever, you know.
Yeah, I mean...
And to be compared to him, mate, is the biggest compliment I could ever wish for.
Good.
So cheers.
No, listen, mate, you've earned it. You know, it's not something you can just pull off, if you know what I mean. It's not like you're trying to imitate him. That's your own voice. But, you know, if a lot of people have said it, just carry on doing it, man, because I
Yeah.
fucking love it, man. And that's all that matters, you know, is that the people love it and that you love doing what you do, mate.
Cheers, man. I get a bit embarrassed looking back at that that I hope I think I know video, because
the long hair.
Yeah, like the hair's not right. I needed an haircut, and also I'd probably kill to have that voice again, because it's a few years ago. But like, it sounds too fucking. Maybe I'm being too critical, but maybe I took a few of the comments to heart, because there was a lot of Joe Pasquale comments and blah blah blah. But maybe I don't know.
Listen,
we get it,
mate. You're overthinking
it.
Listen, you're going to have more people love you than you're going to have people hate you, and I get it. You know, when you put yourself out there, you know, and people are watching you, it doesn't matter if you're juggling or fucking doing handstands in the fucking nude. Someone's going to find something to pull you up on. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't worry, mate. Like a lot of people fucking absolutely crucify me. Well, try to anyway, but I've got to just block them now. But I've been told, I used to just absolutely slate people, but then it's like, listen, you can't be doing that. You know, you wouldn't see like Dynamo rip someone out, would you? And I was like, well, that's true. I've got to calm it down. But
you're always
mate. You're always going to have someone, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't worry about it. 9 times out of 10, they're people who wish they had half the talent that you had, and that's why they're jealous, mate. So I wouldn't give a shit. And if anything, mate, use them to your advantage. So funny enough, I actually thought about this earlier. When I did a tour with the Libs, we played Margate, right, Winter Gardens, and the Enemy were there. Personally, for me, was probably the worst show I've ever done, right? Not through me being pissed up, I was, but it weren't through to that. It was like just the person I brung up on the stage didn't know what was happening, and then someone threw a pint for whatever reason. I said, listen, mate, you've queued up on a Monday morning at the job centre for about 2 hours to pay for that pint, and now you've thrown it on me. You're a bit of a clown. Some people loved it, some people didn't. And then after that, like, so I read the review, and it was like, we have this geezer, the Magic Mod, and he's shambolic magic and unwitted humour. And I was thinking, mate, that's it's the tricks are supposed to look like they've gone wrong, and then I get them right. But ever since then, I've always used that article of the Enemy as a like a bit of a motivation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To think, well, if you think I'm shit, I'm going to make sure, you know, that I do stuff to prove you wrong. So if ever you get anything, my advice, I mean, not that you need advice from a magician, mate, but if ever you get someone give you something negative, mate, just use it to your advantage, mate. Say, right, here we go, let's do this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to sell out my own headline show, and which you did at the Underworld, didn't you?
Yeah, man.
It is the Underworld, isn't it?
The Underworld Camden, yeah, like under the world's end. But yeah, just going back to those the trolls or whatever, or just the people, they're always. I always think of it like they're always either pissed, hungover, or deeply unhappy, or all of the above. So it doesn't fucking matter. It reflects more on them than it does you. And now I just rise above it. But I used to fucking, you know, go.
It is odd though, because you take it as a personal attack on yourself. You know, you go, especially when you eat, sleep, and drink this industry, and then you think you're right. I'm happy where I am, and then you get someone trying to knock you down. But you carry on, mate. You're doing well.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
What?
Go on.
No, go on.
So, what the Underworld gig, was that what we were talking about?
Yeah, go on, mate. I just spilt my orange juice.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, the Underworld was fucking mint, mate. It was.
It looked good. It did look good.
Yeah, it was mad. I've actually, we filmed it all. We got 8 angles on it, and we're just trying to sort out the audio at the minute. We've filmed and recorded all of it, and then we're going to stick out a DVD. I know that's old school, but people still buy CDs and DVDs, so we'll chuck it out and put it on YouTube. Obviously,
fucking
we're not
mega, mate.
We're not daft, but it looks wicked. We just got to get it sounding as good as it did on the night, and then we'll chuck it out there. But it was fucking bedlam. Like I'd never had that many people in one place singing the songs like before, like, and it just fucking took my head off, man. I absolutely loved it, like, you know.
Good.
But yeah,
And
sold out the Underworld, and now we're trying to book the big show for later in the year, the big London gig. Fuck knows. Oh, we have penciled in the Hackney Round Chapel, which is 800, but it's tricky because it's a dry hire. We've got to get stage lighting, crew, security, toilets. We've got to get portaloos and all this bollocks. So I think we're going to have to just reevaluate and do somewhere like Village Underground or Garage. Or I asked Islington Assembly Hall, but they're booked up on the date we want. But that sort of size venue.
what about the Islington Academy? What's that? How many is that?
We need
They've got
to be 1,000 or just under. Like, how much is Islington Academy?
Haven't they got? Isn't one of them? One of the rooms is like 700. The
Oh,
other one's
okay.
like over 1,000. Because there's 2 rooms, isn't
Yeah.
there? I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
There's one with a balcony.
With those O2 academies, though, it's really hard to get in without a promoter, because we just self-promote, because promoters don't do anything and take all the money. So, like, you know, no offense to any promoters watching, but I see ya. But so we just do promote ourselves, and it goes really well. But then what happens with stuff like the O2 academies is it's really hard to get in there without a promoter. It's a bit of a ringed off fence, but it's doable. Like, Deaf Guitar Pop have just got Shepherd's Bush Empire with no promoter, and they sold out Electric Ballroom with no promoter. So, you know, it's doable.
Yeah, fucking right, mate. Or just play a couple of nights at the Underworld again, mate. You know, smash out 3-4 nights in a row.
Yeah, that'd be fucking class, actually.
Mate, go for it, man. What have you got coming up, though?
Coming
Let's talk
up,
about that.
Recording the second album in the coming months. Then we're off to France for a mini tour. First foot in France, which is nice. Doing Paris, Bethune, Arras, and somewhere else in the north, just the north. And through that, a booking agent have got interested, so they want us later in the year to do a bit of a longer tour. So that's in March. April is the UK tour, or the Great Britain tour. We're not coming to Belfast, unfortunately, but we are doing Great Britain. So we're doing Bristol, Birmingham, Manchester, Brighton, Birmingham. I already said that. Glasgow, Leeds, Cheltenham, Bristol. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said that 4 times.
We're doing 7 shows anyway, up and down the country, and tickets available in my bio at lauriewright.co.uk. Or we'll stick you on the guest list, obviously.
Oh, bless you.
Ben.
You're right, mate. Bless you. Right. That means a lot, mate. I'd love to come and watch you, and especially is it the Molotovs?
Oh yeah, it's a double headliner with the Molotovs, man. They're fucking first class, mate. So good.
I only discovered them. Someone, Dean from the Albion Rooms, he used to. Yeah, he messaged me about them. He said, "Have you heard of him?" I said, "I've sort of seen something, but I haven't sort of banged on, tuned in yet, because of, you know, it's sometimes when you're on the phone you can only flick through, and you need to, you know, really take it in. But what I've seen,
mate,
fucking hell, man, mega, aren't they?
Next level, so good. Like I just saw them. I didn't know they were, but we went to the Modfather Christmas party last year at the Electric Ballroom.
Brilliant.
And I just saw these 3 mods, blonde, like bobbing around, and I was like, they look like something. They look fucking class. I just didn't think anything about it, but they were like, you know, the fucking faces around the gaff. Then thought nothing of it. A few months later, just scrolling Instagram, seen a mad reel of like about 500 kids going mental in a fucking library, right?
What?
In Wimbledon Library, they were just going absolutely mental to like my kind of music, like sounded like the Jam or like Oasis or something. And I was like, who the fuck's this? The Molotovs, what's this? And then I was like, oh, it's that lot from the Electric Ballroom I just saw walking around. I fucking knew they must be someone. So then I was like, I only live in Twickenham, so Wimbledon ain't far, and I saw it was a residency. So I was like, right, I'm going to go down and see what it's all about. Went to the next one and just, mate, my head's still blown off. Like, honestly, I think they're the best band I've seen since Arctic Monkeys. And the response that they're getting is of that. Like when I went down there, I think they had a few followers on Instagram, like a few thousand followers on Instagram, maybe like 1,000 to 3,000, and that was 6 months ago. They've now got 25,000 followers on Instagram, and they're just viral constantly because they did 100 gigs last year, like just bang, 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 2 gigs a week. Fucking come on, and they mean business and they look business, and they're fucking sound people as well. We've got a lot of time for the Molotovs, so we've ended up good mates with them. We're doing a beer with them at Haggerston Signature Brewery. We're doing an alcohol-free version, obviously.
Love that.
Yeah. But yeah, they're great. So we were like, let's just go on tour, and done loads of bits with them now, and they're fucking, yeah, they're sound people. Loads of time for them.
Good. It's good to see, you know, the power of music and working together. When you've got fucking you and them on a lineup, mate, I'm going to have to stick my old dancing shoes on next year or this year, innit?
Yeah.
And get on down to one of them, mate, 100%. But
yeah,
listen, have you got anything else you want to get out there while we're here, mate?
Get to the Marquee or the Marquis. It's either, I don't know how you pronounce it, but the Marquee Sunday, Covent Garden, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. For a knees up, and Haggerston Brewery, London's Signature Brew, 2nd of March for our beer launch and just having a great knees up again. Come to the tour and get on the end of it. Debut album, go stream it, get it on vinyl, whatever. But more to the point, thanks so much for having me, Mod.
No, not a problem,
Pleasure
mate. Not a
coming on.
problem. I'm glad you come on, mate. As I said, I've seen your stuff for a while, and I wanted to hear more about your story. So when I do these chats, it's more just getting to know people more, and then you go and dig deep into more of their music, and then you go, right, that makes sense now. Why they sang this, why they sang that. So thanks for joining me, mate. And hopefully I'll catch up with you soon.
Yes, mate, definitely. I'll give you a shout when we come to Belfast as well.
And I'll give you a shout when I come back your end, all right?
Do it, mate. Yes, mate. It'd be good to go for a drink.
Listen,
well, you know,
no,
a coffee.
listen. I think it's best if we stay on the 0-0. So otherwise, Camden might end up getting fucking burnt down if we were on the sauce, mate. I tell you.
Yeah.
But
that'd be a fucking interesting one, anyway.
Mate, it'd be a story, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Listen.
Exactly. That'd be the next 12 years of research.
Fuck. Wouldn't wish that on anyone, mate. Listen, Laurie, It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. And
nice
I wish
one.
you all the
Likewise,
success
man.
in the world, man.
And you, man.
And I'll catch up with you soon, brother.
Have a cracking 2024. I'll see you. Well, I'll see you soon anyway.
Of course you will, mate. Of course you will. Look after yourself. Peace and love.
And you. Take care.
Take care, man. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A man of illusion, a magic god, the mud. I'm the magic mud with a sleight of hand, the magic god. See my hands vibrations in the sand. Everything's a work of some man. For flick of the wrist and it's gone.